Hey guys, and welcome back to another new Animal Crossing New Horizons video. I'm CrossingCharly, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some of the mean villagers from Animal Crossing and some of the meanest things that they have said. Now I want to preface this by saying I love mean villagers. This is not a way to say these villagers are bad in any way, shape or form. These are just funny things they've said, and I think them being mean actually gives them more of a personality. So let's get straight into this. Now you guys will probably know that from past Animal Crossing games, the villagers used to be a lot meaner. They would say genuinely mean things to you, and I think some people perhaps complained about this, and Nintendo kind of toned it down a bit in later games, which was such a shame. But that's not to say the villagers don't have anything mean to say. So in this video, I'm mostly going to be focusing on Animal Crossing New Horizons and some of the new quotes that villagers have said to players. I asked my followers on Twitter to send me the meanest things that villagers had said to them. Now this is all subjective. I'm sure some of these won't really come across as that mean. Some of them are just more funny than mean, but I thought it'd be really fun to check them all out and see what you guys have sent me, so let's do that right now. We have this first one, and it is Pietro saying, "You know who the real brains behind Dragon Bay? It's clearly Isabelle." And the person who sent it said, "This one hurt me. I was terraforming and completely redoing my island and he said this. And I don't have a picture, but Muffy and Carmen love pointing out I talk too much and say sarcastic responses that make me feel terrible." So yes, villagers can be quite sarcastic in this game still, which is good to see. I love that they can be a bit, there's more dimensions to them. I think that's really great. But yeah, I do find it very odd that Pietro would give all the credit to Isabelle when you've clearly been doing so much hard work. It is a little bit insulting coming from the clown sheep, calling Isabelle the only brains. I mean, what about Tom Nook? Tom Nook is literally the one who did the whole getaway package, so why are you sucking up to Isabelle, Pietro? I don't understand it at all, but yeah, bit uncalled for, not gonna lie. We have this one next, and it says, "I hope you'll enjoy a wheelchair." And Bibbo responded, "He's called Bones because that's all he wants to break." Bones is a bit of a savage, and I actually did get one of these items. It fell out of a balloon, which I thought was very strange. I don't know why they're sending them via balloon, but hey, I have the item now. And yeah, Bones definitely thinks you belong in a wheelchair, which is really quite strange of him to say. It's very similar to the previous games where the characters would come up to you and be like, "Hey, do you want to buy my skeleton?" I loved it when they do that, so it's interesting to see the funny items that they can bring up and potentially give to you. So yeah, here's Bones giving you a wheelchair, because you're going to need it after he breaks every single darn bone in your body. Be careful, he may look like a cute dog. I mean, he looks really cute to me, but he has a dark side, clearly. We have this one next, sent in by Josh Grenham, and Aurora is saying, "Did I hear you right, dumbass?" So you can still give your villagers quite rude and funny catchphrases in Animal Crossing. I believe there might be censorships on some things that they can say. There definitely was in Animal Crossing New Leaf, so you can't go too far with it, but dumbass is kind of more on the lenient side, you know, it's not too harsh or anything. It's just funny to see such a sweet character like Aurora call the player a dumbass. I've seen some people do even funnier ones than this, but yeah, no, I like this one quite a lot just because of the sheer contrast between the character and what she's saying on the screen. So yeah, I definitely like that a lot. Of course, the characters have become a lot nicer in recent years, as I said, so in previous Animal Crossing games, maybe you could get even ruder responses from Aurora. She's definitely mellowed up as the games have gone by. She's very sweet right now in this Animal Crossing game. Next we have this one by Luke, who says, "My villagers are bullying me," and he actually sent 2 images of the villagers sending him comedian outfits, which I think is just perfect. But there's something very ironic about being given a comedian's outfit by the Michael Jackson Anteater. Now, I don't want to go on a rant about this guy, because I know he has fans out there. I know lots of my viewers like this guy. But speaking personally, I really don't like him. I don't know if it's the fact that he looks exactly like Michael Jackson or what. There's just something about him. His attitude really doesn't appeal to me. I think some of the smug villagers, the ones that have kind of this type of design, like him and Chops, but they're very sort of regal, they just don't sit well with me very much. But yeah, no, it definitely does seem like your villagers are calling you a clown. I'm not really sure how you can get back at them for doing that. Maybe you can just give them the comedian outfit back, since obviously you can pretty much choose exactly what your villagers are going to wear in this game, which is really good, and I love giving my villagers really silly outfits, so this is definitely one that you could give them if you wanted to. exist. So this isn't technically something mean they've done, but this viewer of mine clearly has taken a lot of offense to this duck villager simply existing. And there's a response here saying, should have put barbed wire to really send a message. Now for me personally, I don't think Wilson is that bad. I think he's okay, you know, I can see why people might not like him as much. But if his crime is existing, you know, I don't think it's that bad. He's not really done anything too mean or horrible to you. He's just kind of lived his life. And I know sometimes that can be a bit traumatizing when they look like Wilson does. But at the same time, you know, you can forgive him. I think you can forgive him for existing. It's not really his fault. He's definitely trying his best out there. But yeah, you know what? If you really don't like him that much, that barbed wire fence item does exist. And that will definitely send a very strong message to Quilson that he is probably not very welcome on your Animal Crossing island. We have this next one by Shan, and it's Portia saying, "Island life is so invigorating, staying inside all day would be a terrible waste." Now, this isn't really a mean quote at all. I just think this one hits very differently because obviously right now most of us are living in isolation, the whole world is on lockdown, so if you're watching this video from the future, hello to you, I hope things are going a bit better for you. But yeah, this one definitely hits a bit differently since we are forced to stay inside, so we kind of are wasting a lot of our time. But, you know, eventually things will get a little bit better and we'll hopefully be going outside again and enjoying the sunshine like these lucky animals get to. Though personally, I think I would rather live on a deserted island like they are. That would definitely be my pick instead of living in the real world right now. It's definitely not as appealing as it could be. So yeah, if I can move to this island at some point, that would be really great. Please send me there as soon as possible. Next we have this one by Donut Dreaming, and it is a quote by Sprinkle, who says, "Wow, is that movie makeup? You look like a monster. It's so cool." I used to have Sprinkle living on my island, and I always thought she was very sweet, but this quote has maybe seen her in a bit of a different light because, wow, it's kind of low-key evil of her to say that. I don't know why she'd call you a monster. I'm guessing the player character here has a bee sting and that's why she's calling them a monster. But still, it's a very harsh thing for Sprinkle to say. She's just so cute though, so the thing is, if she said something really mean to me like this, I think I'd still forgive her anyways just because of how cute she is. She's definitely one of the cuter villagers in the game, so I will forgive Sprinkle. Sprinkle, you have my forgiveness, and hopefully Donut Dreaming here can also learn to forgive Sprinkle for her trespasses as well. So those were some of the mean things that characters said in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Of course, as I did mention earlier, in previous games the villagers were a lot meaner. They used to say some really crazy things, like for example, Barbara says here, "Teehee, you have nothing to lose except your lonely loser status," which honestly would make me quite angry because I don't like Barbara at all. I think she has quite a bad attitude. She's obviously one of the snooty villagers. And Velma says, "I always thought you were some freak mental case because you run around town all the time. Bleh." Bleh, what an interesting catchphrase. But yeah, in the previous games, as I did mention, the villagers could literally be so savage to you, and I think this is something that is definitely missed from Animal Crossing. There's no way of denying that the villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons are really sweet pretty much 99% of the time, and when they do say something kind of mean to you, it's mostly incidental. It never tends to be something that is really genuinely mean like these guys would say. It's always something that is just kind of coincidentally mean. So that's definitely a bit of a shame, and I kind of did hope that for Animal Crossing New Horizons they would bring back some of the meaner characters, because when you've got like a snooty or a cranky personality, it doesn't make any sense for them to be too nice, you know, they need some mean elements, and that's not to say I want them to be completely horrible to us. I just think that over time, as you get to know them better, they could maybe warm up to you a bit and, you know, you guys could become better friends. But yeah, sadly in Animal Crossing New Horizons, they aren't as mean as they could be, which is something I would definitely like to see change in future. If you guys want to help support the channel, click the join button down below the video to become a member of the Bob's Gang. You can get a bunch of really cool perks for doing so, and it helps me out a whole bunch too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and you can also subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. You can also check me out on Twitter and Instagram, and I even have my own Discord server, all of the links in the video description down below, so be sure to check those out and catch you all in the next Animal Crossing video.